Grab a cocktail with us and welcome to the hot mess that is my life as a single makeup artist living in a college town in Florida. This is Kara's Lipstick Diary.
Hey you guys, we are back for the second half of this episode with my amazing guest, Liz. So have you hit that subscribe button? Because you know you want to. Just hit the subscribe button. And have you gotten your hands on some of the amazing peach long drink to enjoy while watching the second half? Because you kind of need to. It's amazing, like super good. All right, sit back, relax, hit the subscribe button, and let's start talking.
Yeah.
But I wasn't authentic.
I mean, that's amazing that you are where you are now.
Yeah, same for you.
Yeah, because I totally resonate with that. I mean, I look at, well, first of all, when I was really sick with anorexia, like obviously I was dead inside and I was dead outside, you know, but I also look at like the last few years of my marriage, like the last 5 years of it. And I look at that person and I don't know if I was hollow, but I wasn't my authentic self, right? Like we're talking about. And I was living a life that I think I thought I was supposed to live. And I'm also now realizing that a lot of that came from growing up in the church. I've been doing, it's interesting that this is coming up because I've been doing a deep dive into that. Even though I had very supportive, very progressive, open-minded parents, like I still grew up in this, you know, God is the father, like, and the son, and you marry a woman and you know, I mean.
Yeah, it's very structured, very patriarchal, and you must fit in this very small box. I mean, it's a very small box.
Right. And so even if like no one specifically said like, Liz, you need to marry a man and have kids, but it was like that was the environment and that's what I kept seeing.
Well,
and
we didn't even know there was another option. I mean, I didn't even grow up in the church, but yet I still had this overarching feel like that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And yet that never felt like me. I mean, I'm 41, still never been married, have zero desire to have a child. I love kids, but we ain't having one. But we were all expected to, and especially in the church. And the church guidelines are I'm literally dealing with the fact that I have a friend who is a dear friend of mine. She's been on this show several times. Her church literally just did an intervention with her for being friends with me.
What?
Yes, literally did a fucking intervention with her. She has been doing youth leadership there for years. They removed her from doing youth leadership, put her through retraining, and did an intervention because she's friends with me.
Oh my God.
Yes. She's pissed. Let me tell you. She's like, girl, you might ride or die. And like, this is not okay. And it's funny because for years she had said, you need to come to this church with me. And I kept going, they're not going to accept me. They're not going to accept me. And then this happened. And she was like, she literally said to them, you just proved her right. Completely. And I think that that's what's hard is whether it's a church, whether it's a job, whether it's your family, feeling like you have to fit in that box that they have dictated that has nothing to do with you, and then realizing you can break free from it. But what does that mean? Where does that leave you?
Right. And that's the risk, right? It's like, are you going to be alone? And, you know, I mean, maybe, but if you're living authentically, I think like for me, I can only speak for myself. And so let me reframe that a little bit is that I realized recently that I am so comfortable and happy being alone.
Same here.
Not lonely.
No.
You know, but alone. Like I love having my own space. I love to travel on my own, you know, and a lot of people don't understand that. I know you do.
Yeah.
But I didn't always feel that way. I didn't feel that way when I didn't feel authentically myself and at home with myself, right? And so now I'm like, oh, I'm happy with myself for honestly one of the first times in my life. So
literally.
It's just me and a dog probably, you know, I'll be okay. And I probably couldn't have told you that even 2 years ago.
No, I 100% agree with you. It's funny because like for me, I am very much alone. I have no family. I've had to walk away from my family. I don't have a significant other. I live alone, whole 9 yards. But I've also never been so happy and in peace as now. Mm-hmm. And you have this fear of being alone and it's going to be lonely. But there's a difference between being alone and lonely. You can be married with a family, have a kid, and be deathly lonely.
Mm-hmm.
because you're not authentic. Your needs are not being met. You're not being heard. But you can be completely on your own and not be lonely. And I don't think people realize that because they have this fear that being alone means lonely, but that's not always what it is.
No, it's not. And I agree with you. There were times in past relationships, even in my marriage, where I was very lonely.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also, I think there's a big part of it is self-abandonment,
Yes.
right? You abandon yourself for other people, which sounds like you did and I did.
Yeah.
And you sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. Sometimes we do.
Yeah.
But until you realize, like, you can't abandon yourself because, again, at the end of the day, all we have is ourselves. So,
well, and I think it's interesting because you dealt with anorexia. I dealt with bulimia and a little bit of anorexia thrown in there because they kind of sometimes go hand in hand.
Well, and same. Yeah.
Exactly. But I, looking back and analyzing why I had it, all of that, and it was literally because I wanted to disappear. I wanted control back in my life, but I also wanted to physically and every other way disappear because I was so not at peace. I was not happy. All of my instances with my eating disorder always sort of coincided with sexual assault. So they always tied to that. But it literally was I feel so alone. I just want to disappear. You know, and I don't know if that's why everyone has eating disorders, but it was that I couldn't be me. And I really think so much of why I had one was that struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely resonate with that. I mean, for me, it was, I don't know if I was definitely killing myself slowly. Like I was hospitalized and, you know, there were basically interventions, although we didn't use that word,
right.
That arose during that time in my life. But I got a lot of messages during my life that I needed to be small and out of the way.
Yes.
Right. Or if I was in the way, I was at risk of being harmed.
Yeah.
And everyone had so much already going on that I didn't want to cause any issues. Right. So I made myself small. Throughout my life. And so then the anorexia was sort of like the pinnacle of that.
Yeah.
And then there were so many like bullshit instances of people telling me how fucking good I looked.
Oh my God, right? What the hell?
And like, unfortunately, this was at the time when the waif look was in with Kate Moss and Paris Hilton.
My crew was just talking about the you know, whether it was cocaine or heroin chic look that was so big during that time period. Yeah.
And that was the time I developed anorexia. And I mean, there was some things that were like coincidental or I don't know, synchronistic, like it just happened. But then there were moments when people would compliment me
all the time.
That reinforced it.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, people like me looking small.
Right. They like me now. So now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
And it honestly wasn't until my late 20s that I was like, fuck that.
Oh, you did better than me. It wasn't until my 30s because I literally, I look back and, you know, I'm 5'7" and I was still a size 0 when I was 28, 30. And I was so proud that, you know, I could pop my rib cage out and stick my fist up there. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, but it was all, you know, it was a mind fuck. It was a total mind fuck. And it was, you know, survival mechanism, but also, you know, compliments. And this is what I'm supposed to be. And even though I'm killing myself, this is who I'm supposed to be. And
there's that other piece too of we're talking about self-abandonment and being lonely, but the eating disorder becomes your partner and your friend.
100%.
And so then when you don't have, I used to call mine Eddie. When if I didn't have Eddie anymore, Ed, right? ED.
Oh my God.
Then I didn't have anyone, right?
Yeah.
And so there's that piece of letting go of your ED as letting go of a friend.
Yeah. Well, and mine was a community thing because in college I had a friend and we would go in the bathroom together and encourage each other. How much could we vomit up and hold each other's hair during the process? So it was a community. It was, I have a partner in this, but it takes over your life. It becomes your partner in life. And I think, figuring out who you are, figuring out that it's okay to be you is an interesting challenge. You would think as humans, like, it's like breathing. You just come out and you're who you are. Like, right? Except it's not. It's so much harder than that. But, thank you so much for coming on. This is something that, is something that should be talked about all the time. It becomes sort of cliche when we talk about living our most authentic life. They put it on like freaking bumper stickers now. But, there's an actual truth about it. Living authentically is so much more than a bumper sticker slogan. So much more than that. And, like I say, you didn't really realize that I was sitting there watching you and going, wait, she seems to be living, and you hadn't even figured out you were living authentically. Like, you weren't even there yet yourself. And yet I'm like sitting there watching her going, she's like one of the most authentic people I've ever seen. Oh, wait, I can do that too, maybe. And yet she's like, I wasn't figuring it out yet myself. Like,
right.
I think that's amazing
for each other.
Yeah. And we've only really stayed connected through social media. I've watched, everything you've been going through, and it is an inspiration to those of us who are ready to live in an authentic lifestyle. And seriously, thank you. When I reached out to you, I was like, I really hope she says she'll do this. It's one of my last 5 episodes. I really want her on it.
You're so sweet. Of course. It's my honor. And and same. It's just, I love seeing you blossom and just like living however you want to live. And like, your look is amazing, by the way.
Thank you. I love it now. Like, I feel like me. Someone said to me when I dyed my hair pink, they're like, you found your superpower, right? And I'm like, I did find my superpower.
Yeah. It's kind of like recently I cut my hair into like a shag, and I was like, honestly, this is the most like real or most I've felt myself with a haircut ever.
Right?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I just want to get a shag haircut.
Like, why the fuck not? Like, it's epic. Liz, thank you so much for everything over the past few years. Thank you for coming on the show. You are amazing. I beyond appreciate it.
Thank you, Kara. I feel the same about you. Big love.
Yay. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.